When people think of Sparta, they imagine elite warriors in red cloaks, trained from childhood to die in battle. But that image only fits a small fraction of Spartan society. In reality, there were three main groups in Sparta. At the top were the Spartiates, the full citizens. These were the men who trained in the agoge, owned land, and could vote in the assembly. They were the only ones allowed to become professional soldiers. But even at their peak, Spartiates never numbered more than 8,000. By the 4th century BC, their numbers had dropped to around 1,000. Below them were the perioikoi, literally those who dwell around. They lived in towns surrounding Sparta. They weren't full citizens, but they weren't slaves either. They handled trade, crafted weapons, built ships, and even fought in wars, but only as auxiliaries. They kept the economy running because Spartiates were forbidden from manual labor. At the bottom were the helots, state-owned serfs who worked the land. Unlike typical slaves, they weren't bought or sold individually. Instead, they were tied to Spartan territory and forced to deliver a fixed amount of produce to their Spartiate masters. Historians estimate there were 7 helots for every Spartiate. Their constant presence was seen as a threat. That's why Sparta developed the Cryptia, a secret police that eliminated potentially rebellious helots. There were also smaller, more fluid groups. Mothakes were sons of helots, or poor free men raised alongside Spartan boys in the agoge. They could earn respect and even rise in rank, but they were never full citizens. Neodamodes were former helots who were freed after serving in the army. Even they remained socially inferior. So, while Sparta is remembered as a society of warriors, in practice it was a highly stratified system that depended on a rigid hierarchy. Only a tiny elite fought in the phalanx. The rest, craftsmen, traders, laborers and farmers, supported the machine from behind the scenes. And this is what made Sparta both powerful and fragile. With so few true citizens and so many oppressed laborers, the entire system was constantly at risk of internal collapse.